We're at our first stop today and we're at Midmar Stone Circle, which is right next to Midmar Kirk and about 2 miles away from a little town called Echt. So I feel like I say this a lot, but I think it's one of the more unusual recumbent stone circles that I've been to. A, in its proximity to the church, and B, just the length of the flanker. It's super long. And it has these, I've seen it described twice now as having these like fang-like flanker stones, which are really impressive and quite unusual, I think. So nobody's quite sure why they chose to build a church so close to the stone circle, especially because this isn't the original position of Midmar Kirk. There was a kirk built much earlier, much further away. And then this was built in the late 1700s, right here. And then sort of early 1900s, they decided to tidy up the kirkyard and extend it. And in doing that, they believe that they moved some of the stones slightly out of position to change the shape of the circle. But also, generally in a recumbent stone circle, you have a size shift in the stones from larger to smallest. And you can see these 2 stones here are sort of out of size order. So they just wonder if they moved some of the stones and didn't quite put them back in the same position properly. But yeah, it's super interesting. Like I'm not sure I feel anything here, I guess just because it feels a bit odd, this kind of juxtaposition between like Christianity and I guess paganism. But yeah, such an interesting place to be. Stop of the day, which is Sunhill Stone Circle, and I think it's the busiest stone circle that we've visited so far. So when we first arrived into the car park, there were about 5 people leaving, and then we arrived at the stone circle, there were 2 people already here. And normally when we come to one of these places, there's literally nobody around. So for us, this is quite a busy location. And it's actually listed as a tourist attraction, and most of the stone circles in Aberdeenshire are not listed as tourist attractions. So I thought also this is probably a good opportunity to re-clarify what a recumbent stone circle is. So recumbent stone circles are only found in Aberdeenshire and in Cork and Kerry in Ireland, and they always have this large recumbent stone that's lying down, and then they always have these 2 large flankers either side. And this particular recumbent stone has cut marks, which I've tried to point out in another clip, but they're quite difficult to see. And I actually still have no idea what their purpose is. So if anybody knows, please tell me. This circle, like most of them, is about 4,000 years old. And apparently, like long after its original purpose, people started using it as a burial ground. And they found evidence of cairns inside the centre. So a little bit like the cairns you'll see at places like Lonehead of Daviot. While we're here, it's probably a good time to show you what stones should look like in a recumbent stone circle when they're decreasing in height from the tall flankers all the way to the stone furthest away from the recumbent and the flankers. So back in Midmar, I mentioned that they think that some of the stones were replaced in the wrong positions because some of the stones were in the wrong height order, and you can see why they think that here. really like this circle. It feels really special. It's in this like little copse of trees that's surrounded by farmland, and I really like how the agriculture is just not quite encroached on the circle, and people have found it special enough to like keep it sacred in a way. It's really lovely, really peaceful here. We've arrived back at Midmar Kirk for lunch because it was nice and shaded, so we thought we could keep cool. But it's also kind of lucky because as we were leaving, I noticed on the map that there was a standing stone right next to the kirk, just the other side of the path. So we're coming to find it. Bonus standing stone. Oh my god, and it's right in front of me and I just hadn't seen it. So we didn't mean to, we weren't looking for geocaches today, but we were just walking back from our bonus standing stone, and there's one really obviously under a tree, so might as well bag it. I am outrageously sweaty, so please excuse that and the sheer amount of flies around me. So we're at our last stop of the day, which is the Barmekin of Echt, and we've been here before. There is a video, but this time we've only come up halfway because we remembered seeing like a huge hillside just full of bilberry plants. So we've come back to pick bilberries, but we just didn't quite anticipate how much bracken would be growing. So now the whole hillside is covered in bracken and all the bilberry bushes are just kind of spotted between them. And we had to really fight our way through tall bracken and gorse to get here. So I think we'll probably just pick what we can and then leave, call it a day. It's wild how different it is after maybe like a month, 6 weeks. So today we're picking bilberries, but some people also call them blaeberries or whortleberries, depending on where they come from in the UK. So let me know if you have another name for them. Mattia calls them mirtilli because he's from Italy, and I believe that the Latin name is something similar to that. So I really like coming to pick bilberries every year, and today we've come to the Barmekin of Echt. And every year I come to pick bilberries, people always ask me what they are, and they're always like, well, don't you just mean blueberries? And kinda. So apparently there's around 70 species of blueberry within the blueberry family, and bilberries in Europe are like blueberries' sexy exotic European cousin. So they are slightly different. I think they're sweeter and more flavorful, and they also have like a different coloured flesh inside. So whereas blueberries have like a green flesh, bilberries have this really nice like purple flesh. Which also means that they have different antioxidants and different vitamins. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you can, get out and pick some bilberries in your local area. So we're heading back down the hill. We made it through the jungle, and I just suddenly thought I should probably make a disclaimer about not foraging or eating berries if you're not sure what you're picking. I don't want to be in any way responsible for any not bilberry related deaths or illnesses. So please, if you're not sure, go foraging or berry picking with somebody that knows what they're doing.